Hi, this is Janet Eifred. In this video I'm going to show you how to learn your times tables, how to learn from knowing nothing up to how to be able at the end to multiply quite large numbers in your head. Okay, so we're going to do all mental maths in this video. Let's get started. 2 times table. Now that is probably one of the first things you would learn in school, to add in twos, okay? Let's look. 2 times table, it all ends in 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, 0, 2, 4, 6, 8. There's a pattern now, and it's even numbers. Your 4 times table, can you see it's double your 2 times table? 4 is double 2, 8 is double 4, 12 is double 6. Your 8 times table is double your 4 times table. 8 is double 4, 16 is double 8, 24 is double 12, and so on. So it's every time double. 5 times table. It always ends in a 0 and a 5, 0, 5, 0, 5. That is the ending number. 10 times table. It always ends in a 0. Okay. 3 times table. Let's look. 3, 6, 9. 1 plus 2 is 3. 1 plus 5 is 6. 1 plus 8 is 9. 2 plus 1 is 3. 2 plus 4 is 6. 2 plus 7 is 9. 3 plus 0, 3. 3 plus 3, 6. 3 plus 6, 9. So can you see those numbers, 3, 6, 9, keep repeating when you add up the digits. So that is a little check you can make also. If, for instance, let's look at the number 51. Is 51 divisible by 3? Is 51 in my 3 times table? 5 plus 1 is 6. Yes, it is. Is 61 in my 3 times table? 6 plus 1 is 7. No, it isn't. 9 times table. This is one of your easiest times tables to learn. Let's look why. We can add up the digits again. 1 plus 8 is 9, 2 plus 7 is 9, 3 plus 6 is 9, 4 plus 5 is 9, 5 plus 4 is 9, 6 plus 3 is 9, and so on. Your digits will add up to 9. 9 plus 9 is 18. We have to apply the rule again. 1 plus 8 is 9. 1 plus 0 plus 8 is 9. So we're going to think our digits need to add up to 9 for a number to be in our 9 times table. And also, if the digits add up to 9, the number will be divisible by 9. How would you do 2 times 9? You would think 1 less than 2 is 1. And I add 8 to get 9. 1 less than 3 is 2, and I add 7 to 2 to get 9. 1 less than 4 is 3, and I add 6 to 3 to get 9, and so on. So 9 times 9, 1 less than 9 is 8, and I add 1 to get to 9. Okay? You can maybe take a piece of paper now and try to practice your 9 times table. I know some people use a finger. We use the finger method. I prefer to use this method because simply I might have a pencil in my hand, or it might be a little bit embarrassing to use that finger method. Okay, we move on. 12 times table. We're going to look at this a bit later again in worksheets, where we would also times with higher numbers mentally. But what we will do is we will split up the 12. We will partition it in a 10 and a 2. And then we would do our calculations. For instance, 3 times 12. 3 times 10 is 30, and 3 times 2 is 6, so that makes 36. 4 times 10 is 40, and 4 times 2 is 8, so that makes 48, and so on. So 12 times tables, it's nice if you know it, but you can quickly work it out by partitioning your 12 into 10 and 2, okay? 11 times table. Now, you might say, why do you look at this? It's too easy. What about 11 times 11 and 12 times 11? Do you remember those or do you forget? I've seen students really forgetting it, so I will show you how you can remember this. Let's look at 16 times 11. What is 16 times 11? It is the 1 and the 6, and 1 plus 6 is 7. What is 23 times 11? It is 2, 3, and 2 plus 3 is 5. What is 31 times 11? You try. 3, 1, 3 plus 1 is 4. Now, what is 11 times 11? It is 11. 1 plus 1 is 2. What is 12 times 11? It is 12. 1 plus 2 is 3. Okay, that is how you can remember your 11s. 7. Now 7, unfortunately, there isn't much I can say to help you here, except that if you learn all your other times tables before you learn your 7s, the only one you wouldn't know is 7 times 7. We will also later look at square numbers and cube numbers just to make sure we learn this separately as well, because that is a square number. Okay? Also, you need to know your 25s and your 50s. You need to know there's 4 25s in 100, 3 25s in 75, and so on. And your 50s, you need to know there's 2 50s in 100, and so on. Okay, that's the only ones that's higher that we would want you to really know. The rest we are going to show you how to work out just now. Now, to learn your times tables, unfortunately all my multiples, they didn't fit in here because I like to teach my multiples up to multiples of 12. But if you want, you can only learn your multiples up to 10. Now this is the starting point. This is how you will start learning your times tables if you know nothing. You are going to think of multiples of 2. That is 2, and 2 plus 2 is 4, and 4 plus 2 is 8, is 6. And 6 plus 2 is 8, and 8 plus 2 is 10. You are going to count in your 2s. Okay, count in 3s, 3, 6, 9, and so on. Now you go. And you go and fill in, remember your multiples start at the number. You are going to try to do all of this up to 12 times 2, up to 12 times 3. We try to learn our times tables up to 12, okay? It's quite helpful. Pause the video and you try to write down those multiples now. There's the answers for you, for those who need it. Those ones you struggle with will possibly be here 6, 7, 8, around about there. The 9s you can easily probably write down now after the method I showed you. Check your answers, pause the video. Okay, now we are going to assume that you know some of your times tables. Okay, if you don't, count in multiples on your fingers as a start and you will get faster on it. So let's look at 2 times 12. We can split up the 12 in a 10 and a 2, as I showed you before. So 2 times 12 will become 2 times 10 plus 2 times 2. 2 times 10 is 20. 2 times 2 is 4. In other words, 24. So you practice those ones. Pause the video. Now there you go, there's your answers. You need to learn how to follow this because this is going to be very helpful to do times tables in your head of bigger numbers. Okay? Pause the video and check your answers. Now we are just going, I just give you here a mixture of your 12 times table. So you're going to, if you say 10 times 12, you can say 1 times 12 is 12 and I add a 0. 4 times 12. What is that going to be? It's going to be 4 times 10 is 40. 4 times 2 is 8. In other words, 48. 7 times 12. 7 times 10 is 70. 7 times 2 is 14. Add together, it gives you 84. Okay? Now you try the rest, pause the video and do the rest. There's your answers. Pause the video and check, please. Now we are going to, you will see in my workbook I do the 6 times table. And then we will do multiples of the 6 times table. So we will immediately go to higher numbers there. And at the meantime we will still be practicing our 6 times tables here. So these sheets really good for practice getting fast and also understanding bigger numbers. So what we do here, we ignore the zeros. We just say 1 times 6 is 6. And then we add the zeros, a 0 and a 0. We add 2 zeros. Okay? Now what is 4 times 6? That is 24. Now how many zeros do I have to add? 1, 2, 3 of them. 1, 2, 3. Okay, see if you can do the rest on your own. Pause the video. Let's just look at this one. What is 9 times 6? Let's think 1 less than 6 is 5. How many do I add to the 5 to get 9? 4. And how many zeros? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3 zeros there. Okay, and now we go to the answers. Pause the video if you still want to work on those. There's your answers. Please pause the video and check. We're moving on now. There's my 11 times table multiple. Okay, there we can say 1 times 11 is 11 with 1, 2 zeros. Okay. Let's look at this one. Can you remember what's 11 times 11? It's a 1 and a 1, and 1 plus 1 is 2, and we add 1, 2 zeros. Okay, pause the video, you do the rest. There you go, there's your answers. Pause the video and check them. Now, as I said, when we learn times tables, I like to learn the square numbers separately because it really helps you to remember those times tables which sometimes you found hard. Okay, so 1 times 1, 1. 2 times 2, 4. Do you want to try to fill in the rest on your own? For those who struggled, 3 times 3, 9, 4 times 4, 16, 5 times 5, 25, 6 times 6, 36, 7 times 7, 49. You really need to know it this fast. 8 times 8, I ate and I ate and I was sick on the floor, 64. 9 times 9, 1 less than 9, 8. How many do I add to 8 to get 9? 1. 10 times 10, 1 times 1 is 1, and I add 2 zeros. 11 times 11, we've got the 11, and 1 plus 1 is 2. 12 times 12. Think about this one. That is 10 times 12, which is 120, plus 2 times 12, which is 24, in other words, 144. Now these three, they are probably the hardest. So most students coming to me would mostly know this, not all of them. Then this is a problem area. So I'm going to show you how you can remember this. Now we know that 3 times 3 is 9. In other words, this number will end in a 9. We know that 4 times 4 is 16. Now this number will end in a 6. Okay. It's a 9 and a 6, and then we have a 6 and a 9. And we can see the numbers must be over 100, so it's a 1 in front. Yeah? 169, 196. 15 times 15. That must be over 200 because that is very close to 200. It is 225. You can say 10 times 15 and 5 times 15 also and add it up. That is my square numbers. Now on the sheets I just have for you to practice. Fill in your missing numbers there. And then that is another way to ask 7 times 7. They just put a little square there. Now don't ever say that is 7 times 2, because it is so not. It is 7 times 7, which is 49. That one is 12 times 12, and so on. Try to remember those. Now what is 1 squared? That is 1 times 1, 1. Okay? You do the rest, pause the video. There you go, there's your answers. Pause the video and check them. As I've just done square numbers, I just feel it is necessary to just very quickly look at cube numbers. 1 times 1 is 1 times 1 is 1. 2 times 2 is 4 times 2 is 8. 3 times 3 is 9 times 3 is 27. 4 times 4 is 16 times 4, 64. 5 times 5 is 25 times 5, 125. 10 times 10 times 10, 1 times 1 is 1 times 1 is 1 with 1, 2, 3 zeros. Okay, so what do you think 3 cubed would be here? It's certainly not 3 times 3. It is going to be 3 times 3 times 3, which we know is 27. What is that one? 5 times 5 times 5, which we worked out there. How do you get 1 timesing the same number? 1, 1, 1. Okay? You pause the video and try to do the rest of them. There you go, there's your answers. Please pause the video and check them. Now here, I'm just testing you again on your times tables. Pause the video and see how quick you can do those. There's your answers. Check them quickly. Pause the video. Okay, now we're going to times with 2 digits. A 1 digit times 2 digits. That is a sum you can very quickly do mentally in your head. So if you have to say 2 times 13, you're going to split up that 13 in a 10 and a 3. 2 times 10 plus 2 times 3. 2 times 10 is 20. Now what is 2 times 3? 6. In other words, 26. Okay, you practice the rest, pause the video. There's your answers, please check them. Pause the video. Now times by 70. Now at this stage I think you'll be able to do this on your own. Pause the video now and try to do this on your own. So it was 2 times 10 plus 2 times 7. Yes, 2 times 10 is 20. And 2 times 7 is 14. 20 plus 14, 34. Okay, you can see we're already on page 36 of the workbook. There's lots of practice. So if you need, please download the workbook after this video and practice your times tables and become good in them. Okay, pause the video, do the rest if you haven't done so yet. There's your answers. Please pause the video and check. Now, I just mixed them up, so how will you do this? You will do 9 times 10 is 90, plus 9 times 9 is 81. And that you can either do mentally, or just quickly write it below each other. 171. The more you do this on paper, the easier it will become to do them mentally and to not need paper at the end of the day, okay? Pause the video and you do the rest. There you go, there's your answers. Please pause the video and check them. Okay, now we've got higher numbers here. We're already on page 40. So let's see. What is 8 times 12? 8 times 10 is 80, 8 times 2 is 16, 80 and 16 is 96, and we add a 0. What is 5 times 14? Can you work that out quickly? 5 times 10, 50, 5 times 4, 20, 70. Now remember 70 with 1, 2, 3 zeros. 1, 2, 3. Don't get mixed up with your zeros there. Okay, pause the video, you do the rest. There's your answers, please check them. Pause the video to check. Okay, as usual, I end with word problems. Now this is to get you used to the way they can ask you these problems in school or in a test. Now, I cannot tell you how many times my son has asked me, what does product mean? Too many times certainly. Why can't he remember that it means times? Okay, try to remember that. Please go through on your own, work through those and see how they can ask you your times tables in a different way. Pause the video. Okay, and I see that I don't have the answers here for that. But if you download the workbook, the answers will be in there. Sorry about that. Now, this is the end of the video. Thank you so much for listening. Please download the workbook and please listen to all of my other videos and subscribe if you like it. Thank you very much for listening.